What's going on, guys? Elisha here. Welcome back to Girl. It's about time the World Cup finally started. I made a video speaking on, the history of background of the World Cup. I'm going to link it down below in the description. Match day 1 is almost done. There's still some games left on Monday, but so far there's a lot that's been going on already. Hat tricks, free kicks, missed penalties, upsets, all of it. Let's get right into this. So first off, I want to say that the first match, of course, everybody's excited for every team. We want to see how everyone's going to kick off the tournament. But in my opinion, it really isn't that big of a deal. For some teams, especially like the favorites, it's not that big of a deal if like they screw up the first game. There's 3 others in the group stage that each team has to play. And these are spread out over like a little bit, less than a month. So there's a lot of time for these teams to prepare. It's a lot more games to come. Let's just relax, okay, and enjoy that it's finally here and we can watch some football. So the first game was Russia versus Saudi Arabia. So of course, because Russia's organizing the tournament, they only had that one game for the opening day. They had the opening ceremony, blah, 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 FIFA, president, Putin, all of these people talking and all of that good stuff. So the Russia-Saudi Arabia game, I was more excited about it because it was the first World Cup game. We, again, been waiting for this for 4 years. It's exciting. We want to see it. But not because I knew that it was going to be a good game. Like, I knew it was low-key going to be, boring. And, it kind of was, to be honest. It wasn't. Russia won 5-0. I'll give them that. They won. They got their 3 points, destroyed Saudi Arabia. Didn't really know what to expect coming into it. I knew that Russia were probably going to be favored to win that game, but 5-0 is crazy. Despite that, like 5 goals scoring the game, and it was still boring. It's football. It's the World Cup. I'm happy to watch any and every game anyways. Next up, we have Uruguay versus Egypt. Now, coming into this game, a lot of people, thought that Salah was going to play. Even if he didn't start, that he was probably come off the bench in the second half, come on, do something, all right? But he ended up not playing at all. I'm guessing the coach, decided not to put too much pressure on that arm. He's still kind of injured. It wasn't too long ago since the Champions League final happened. So, they're trying to preserve them. One game, like I said, can make or break the World Cup for you, whether or not you move on to the knockout stages. But as the first game, a lot of times they don't want to, that could actually hurt the team more if you go and put an injured player and then they end up not being able to play for the rest of the World Cup. So sacrifice that first game and then let them play in the others. Uruguay didn't really dominate Egypt. I wouldn't say that. It was pretty even in my opinion. And I actually thought that if Salah played, Egypt could have actually won this. Or there would have definitely been a lot more goals that could have probably motivated Suarez and them to attack more. I don't know, but I feel like Egypt would have been a lot more confident if he was on the team. But that late winner came from Jose Jimenez, and when you score that late winner in the World Cup, win it for your it's amazing. It's like the best feeling ever. I can't tell you exactly how it feels, but as a neutral fan, I felt really happy for him. And now Uruguay is just chilling with 3 points at the top of their group. And then we have Morocco versus Iran. Again, one of these games that you expect it to be boring. These teams aren't really that good. And, it was. But end of the game ended up being a shocker. Crazy turn of events. Late header from an Iran player into his own net ended up being an own goal. And man, was he shattered. Like, he was bawling after the game. And I felt bad for him, but that's part of the game. It happened. At least, something entertaining happened during that game, because for 90 minutes, it was basically just, like, what are we watching here? And then for some real action, Portugal versus Spain. 3rd minute penalty on Ronaldo. And of course, he put that in. De Gea did not see that ball coming. Went on one side, the ball went on the other, 1-0. And then Diego Costa put in that work for that second goal, tied it up, 1-1. Ronaldo came back, top of the box, long range shot on the ground, grazed that, and the ball slipped in De Gea's hands. 2-1. Diego Costa again comes back, 2-2. And then Nacho with the long range shot, 3-2. End of the game. Cristiano Ronaldo huffing and puffing, focusing on that ball like his life depending on it. with that free kick, bangs it, top corner, nobody moves. De Gea's feet planted on the ground. That game was amazing. Best game of the World Cup so far, hands down. The most actions, teams played like it was. Portugal was obviously playing counterattack football. Spain, you know, their midfield, that passing game all around was just magnificent. But, you know, they held it toe-to-toe, and they got the 1 point. They shared the point for this time, but that game was super entertaining. Lots of opportunities. It was great. All right, then we have France versus Australia. France got themselves a W, 2-1 against Australia. France is looking okay, not, you know, as they're not really meeting all the expectations, all the hype that's behind them, but what's important is they got the 3 point. Out of all the favorites to win the World Cup, they're the only one who actually got a win. And talk about an upset, Argentina versus Iceland, 1-1. Messi getting his penalty stopped by the Iceland keeper. Man, Iceland might just be the hardest working team in the game. Like, for a couple of years now, they've just been grinding and just upsetting a lot of big teams. Took out England in the Euros recently, and now they're shutting down Argentina. And Argentina had 75 plus possession during the whole game, far more shots for a long time. Iceland was just not attacking whatsoever, playing defense for a good majority of the game, and they still held Argentina to a 1-1 draw. You gotta respect it, man. These guys are grinding. They're hard workers. I want to see them actually make it to the knockout stages. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I want to see it. Peru versus Denmark. Again, decent game. Not too much action. Not the most, you know, entertaining game ever, but it was okay. Denmark got themselves the 1-0 win. Missed penalty from a Peru player, just skyrocketed. I don't know where he thought he was aiming for that one. Again, happens though. He was devastated. His teammates, you know, tried to console him after the game, but you got to shake it off. And then you have Croatia versus Nigeria. I expected Nigeria to at least score 1 goal, to be honest, in that game, but Croatia got themselves the 2-0 win. Got that 3 point, get that out the way. Again, Croatia, one of those teams that just worked really hard. They always have a solid team, not always the best performance. Last World Cup, to be honest, I thought that they were going to get a lot further than they did. This year, they're backing Rakitic, Modric, Kovacic, all these guys working really hard, trying to get their team as far as possible. Let's see, that's going to be interesting. I want to see them against the bigger teams, see what they really can do. And moving on to Costa Rica versus Serbia, Kolarov getting a free kick to secure the win for Serbia, 1-0. That game ended. All right, now we're getting to the big boys, like the really big boys. Germany versus Mexico. Who would have thought? 1-0, Mexico getting that win against the defending champions. Okay, I was going to say that I knew that Germany, you know, were a bit overhyped and that they weren't going to perform as well this tournament, blah, blah, blah. And I still think so, but I'm not basing that based on the first game. Again, a lot of pressure in these first games. That doesn't excuse anything. Defending champions, they have a strong squad, so there should be no excuse. They should be hoping to win every single time. But Mexico went out there and they played strong. Defense was offense, going for it, weren't scared going forward. Chicharito getting emotional in the end. That's the World Cup that we know and love. You know, he won the game, didn't even score, but at the end got on his knees. He was just like, the emotions really get to these players because it means so much. You're not just playing for a club that they were bought into. They're playing for their nation. This is, you know, for the most part, places that they grew up in. That's where their family is from. That's their country. So it means so much to these guys. So when you see a guy like that after a win, just crying so much after just one game, like, you just know that is that important to them. And finally, Brazil versus Switzerland. Now, off the bat, Brazil, Switzerland, you know, Brazil started a little bit shaky. Switzerland were pressing really high, really putting the pressure on Brazil. But, you know, after a while, Brazil started kind of get their groove on, kind of get that flow going. Coutinho with a screamer. And goals like these are not, like, you know, we see them from Coutinho all the time. When you see Coutinho outside of the box in that top left corner opening with his right, you just know where that's going. You know that's going top right. You know the keeper just can't save that. Those screamers, he did it for Liverpool, probably going to do a lot more for Barca. We expect that from him. But after that goal, Brazil kind of were sleeping out there. Like, they were just soft. They were slow. It wasn't flowing right. You didn't see the chemistry wasn't hitting. The passes weren't really connecting. Neymar got fouled 10 times during that game. 3 of Switzerland's yellow card came from fouling just Neymar. Gabriel Jesus got fouled inside the box. Clear foul. What is the point of VAR? If you don't know, VAR is video assistant referee. What's the point of having that, of being able to stop the game, do your little square signal thing, and check the video and see if the call is right? They should have went, and the captain pleaded to the referee. Marcelo went to him, asked him, like, check the video. If it's not, then we could just move on. But that's the point of it, is that we have it so that there's no missed calls. Like I said, Brazil, like any other favorite to win the World Cup, it's still the first game. There should be no excuse for them to have such a poor match. They should still be playing a lot better. But I feel like coming into the second game, Neymar wasn't 100%. To be honest, just coming off that injury. The coach said before the game that he wasn't, in full form right now. So, we didn't expect, he played a poor game. The whole team did. But I definitely think that going into the second game, they're going to play a lot better. They're going to be a lot more comfortable. Every team in the tournament is. I'm looking forward to the second match day more than any other one, because that's when you're really going to see the teams go out and do their best. And I'm still standing behind my team 100%. Brazil, I still think, is gonna win this whole tournament. Listen, if Brazil wins this thing, I'm going blonde. I'm saying it right now. Brazil wins the World Cup, I'm going blonde. Now, why blonde? Why that color? Let me explain. You guys remember in the Olympics, last Olympics, when Brazil won, and Neymar and some of the other players on the team, to kind of symbolize the whole, winning the gold medal thing, went kind of a gold blonde thing on their hair. So if Brazil wins the World Cup, mark my words, I'm going to go blonde. I've never looked forward to doing something stupid so much in my life. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the first week of World Cup games. So many highlights already. So much has happened. Missed penalties, free kick goals, hat tricks, all of that good stuff. And so many more games to come. England, Belgium, Senegal, all these teams still haven't played. So we're definitely going to look forward to that. They've had sometimes, to watch everybody else, see, kind of the vibe, what's going on. So I feel like they have much greater advantage over these other teams. But let's see how they perform. Let's see how they do when they actually get out there. I'm excited to see how Belgium and England are going to play. England got that young team. Belgium coming in. A lot of people don't know if they're favorites or if they're like dark horses. We don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. And next week, you're going to see me right back here talking about the whole second week of football in the World Cup and everything else in the football world. So if you enjoyed this video, drop a like. But if you didn't, you know the drill. Drop a dislike, but make sure you let me know why in the comments below. Check out my World Cup video that I did right before the World Cup started. Check out the social media. Check out the music in the description. And I'll see you guys next week on Gol. Peace.